Hi, this is Jai Li. I'm here to present for my identity. And the reason I did not use the room is because my computer audio is broken, so I cannot screen the or I cannot have the uh screen shooting it with the audio, so I have to use my phone to record this. About me, I am from China and I'm a junior. My major is advertising management, and what I am planning to do is planning and implement an diploma. I would like to go back China after I finish my diploma and finish my graduate school. Um, the identity I am select is culture. Because I think culture can represent someone, and I believe culture impact people think differently and eat differently and believe different religion, and it also the reason gathering people together and to be a community. And why I'm selecting this identity. The first reason is I am a Chinese, but I have been United States for 6 years already. I think I am experiencing two different cultures as well, and I lived with the original American family for 3 years. And second is, I think culture can define who I am. There are always some cultural quality that you cannot avoid and deny. For example, Chinese girls generally think that drinking cold water is bad for their health, so they like to drink hot water, especially during their period. And but this is unbelievable for American female because they have been drinking ice water since childhood, and they don't think this is unhealthy, so sometimes even after they have pregnant they will still drink ice water um, and never feel this is a problem for them. Of course, this is also related to the food culture of each place. According to my perspective, Americans likes to eat beef, which can make their bodies relatively stronger than Asians. Um, and the third reason is a sense of belonging. According to my experience, people always like to spend more time with people who share same culture with themselves, and it has nothing to do with the discrimination, but it's about people who like to seeking sense of belonging. When I went to high school, American international students always eat on same table during lunch, and even though we also have foreigner friends, but we would like to spend more spare time with students who speak same language with me. I think the most important is speaking same language. We can receive more correct and more information that we know. So it's for example, like Chinese people more get Chinese jokes, American people more get American jokes. Um, yeah. And for human service provider, if I have the chance to meet them in the future, I I hope they can respect every culture, and I hope they can have some tolerance for anyone's habits and culture. Um, at least I hope they can try to know uh, to know to know someone better through knowing their culture and knowing their background. Um, and this is all the question my groups have to me, and I'm gonna answer them right now. For question one, coming from your culture in China to new cultures in American, what do you think is the biggest difference and the most similar between the two cultures? I think the biggest difference is parenting. Asian parents care the grade and they don't like to speak love. Like my mom and I barely say I love you in the daily life. But it's not like my mom doesn't like me or what. Um it's more like tough love. My mom always do everything best to me, but she doesn't know how to show her support through speaking. But I know my host brother used to say this to his mom. It's more like a routine in their family. They will kiss goodbye before he went to school and kiss goodnight before he went to bed. So I think this is the biggest difference. And the similarity for both culture is, I think the people of the two countries, they have a deep stereotype about the other country. Most people's impressions of the other country are very different from the actual situation in China and the United States. For question two, with the whole coronavirus panic, there have been many people referring to it as the Chinese virus because it originated in China. Is this something you, as a person from China, find offensive? Actually, I don't feel offensive. This is not offensive to me. Um, but I think this is not true, and there has a lack of evidence to prove the coronavirus is originated in China. I although China is the first place to report this virus, but based on the research of World Health Organization, there have no evidence can prove this is originate in China. So I think calling Chinese virus is kind of irresponsible. For question three, do you think having sense of belonging with each other is one of the important rules when making friends? Um, I think I, I think it is, since I think the most important thing to make a friend is you feel comfortable to be with them. You feel comfortable they are surrounding you and talk with you, and the the key to do that is sense of belonging. It's not like we must have same culture, we must from same place, but I think the most important thing is you are willing to know and you are willing to learn my culture This is why I think sense of belonging is important to make a friend. For question 4, how did you feel like when first came to the US as an international student? Did you feel everything strange? Uh, um, this is definitely yes. Since this is since United States you're really far away from my own country, and I didn't know anything in United States. The only thing I know is when I am in China, I watching the the American TV show, like American movie called Mean Girls. So I always think the high school girls in American is so mean, and I'm so scared. And when I first came to American, um, I don't even know how do you do me. So this is all really strange and scary to me, and I need to living with someone who I barely know, and I need to know how to communicate with them, and I need to go family like spend time with them as a family. So this is really hard in first year. For question 5, from my own personal experience, I witnessed the increased racism and the discrimination against Chinese and Asian people due to the coronavirus all over the internet. Did the panic, which started in Wuhan, China, present increased racism due to you while living in the US? Um, since I barely use Facebook or Twitter, so I cannot see anything from the internet in US. So this is not really a thing to me. And people I know in America is really nice and kind to me. So I don't have any trouble to living here. But I do heard there have some people punched Asians, and they punched people who wear the mask on campus. I think this is unbelievable, since I believe when human experiencing the challenging, the world should be together, and we need to fight the virus together, not fight each other. So I believe if people trying to go someplace together, like if our heart is together to some target, we gonna go through this. And for question 6, you mentioned you have lived in the US for 6 years now. How do you feel your time in America has affected your own Chinese roots and culture? Actually, I did not see any big impact for my culture. But in China, when we need to cross some people, we never say please, and if we met someone on the street, we will not say hi or smile, since our population is really large. So if you smile to the street if you smile to the people on the street, it's really so weird because there have so many people. But I know in American, if you met someone on the street running past you, they will say hi and will smile, and I will do that too in American. So, and this is kind of might sing too. So sometimes in China, I will do that too. So on street, sometimes when I back to China, I am like a psycho to them, I think. For question 7, while you state that people like to hang out with people of the same culture and discrimination is not a factor, what do you think the biggest barriers are from culture to culture? I believe people like to hang out with people of the same culture is because people is too scared to step out of their comfort zone. They are scared to learn new things. Since people since human like to believe what they believe, and it's so hard for them to change their belief, especially a thing they know from child to adult. So I think that's the biggest barriers for them. For question 8, through living with a Catholic family here in America, what kind of habits or parts of their culture do you notice yourself imitating as well? For example, what kind of habits did you carry with yourself to MSU even though you may not live with them anymore? This is funny. Like, I know Catholic or Christian, they will like to say bless you after some people is sneezing, but Chinese never do that. But now I will say bless you if I heard someone sneezing. It just blurted out without thinking. So this is the habits I think I carry with myself to MSU, and I think I will carry it from now on. And this is all of my answer, and thank you for watching. Have a good night.